Hey guys, welcome back to Book Chat. My name is Tiernan.
JD.
I'm Natasha.
And I'm Reagan.
Whoa. There was like names all over the place.
Can you remember all those, Tiernan?
Okay, so it's JD.
Got it.
Natasha.
Yeah.
I'm the famous author.
I'm Natasha.
I wear mom jeans.
That feels like some shade.
Man.
Just because I like
Alright.
to stay in on Friday nights does not mean I'm a mom.
I hear it too.
So today we are going to be talking about diversity in books.
Yeah, so diversity is such an important conversation, and I feel like it's been a big buzzword within publishing at large recently for really good reasons. If you guys aren't familiar, there's been a really big push for diversity because obviously there's been a huge lack of representation over the course of publishing's entire existence of actually representing real people and real situations across the world. We've been reading a lot of similar stories. And obviously it's been so wonderful for me to hear more about different perspectives and stories that people have been able to read over the years and kind of have them speak to their own experiences. And also I know a lot of people love to hear about that as well. So I wanted to actually ask you guys some of your own voices, experiences with diversity in some of your favorite books you've read recently.
Yeah. Well, I feel like I've been really lucky. Just like in the past few years, I've seen a lot of great queer representation with David Levithan, of course, and LaCour and Adam Silvera most recently. And I think a big struggle that a lot of these explicitly LGBTQ+ books face is that they often get censored or taken out of libraries, especially in like public high schools. And so something that I think about a lot is how if you can have a book that's maybe a fantasy book or something like The Mortal Instruments, where it's really not about a queer romance or something like that, but it's like a book.
It's just normal.
Yeah, Cassandra Clare
it's
book.
An element.
It's just the romance.
Will be found in those high school libraries, and those kids will get to see themselves in those books. So it's almost like if you can just get that representation in your book without it being the whole thing, it's like it gets to slide through when those things are unfortunately happening.
Yeah, and I think it's so cool because Adam's book, The Levithan, like hit the list, which is very rare for any like LGBTQ story. They don't normally hit the list like that.
I was talking to a lot of my friends who love Adam Silvera's books. He's had some really fantastic recent releases, and it's also, I've heard them say, it's been so refreshing to have stories that aren't just focused on the coming out struggle, but versus just like living life in a fantastical setting, or just like different stories that also house these really important representation as well.
And I think that's what we're missing right now. I think everything is just sometimes too glamorous, and life is just life. You do life. Sometimes you don't know things, and it's who you are. Like for me, for example, I'm yet to find a book with a Brazilian immigrant as the main guy. But for me, I've always loved books that actually take the small, insignificant guy and just kind of, put him up there, but in realistic situations, though.
Right.
In ways that you fight for what you believe.
Right.
And you fight for who you are, for who you stand. And that's such a huge element right now with everything that's going on in our country. That I think even with artists and with what we do, that's something that we're trying to build this platform for people to say that it's okay. That we don't have to be all alike. We can like different things and write about different things, and it's okay. Because that's who we are. So.
Yeah, and I feel like the publishing world and the entertainment industry have just such a huge impact on the world and how people think and how they perceive things. Like for instance, I'm quite the body confidence connoisseur. I want to see women and men of different sizes in all entertainment, and I think Hollywood does us wrong because everything about the entertainment industry is about youth and what you look like. And I think that is detrimental to the youth. It is hard to find girls or women, men in books that are representative who have different body shape than most people. Different color, different how tall they are, how short they are. It is very hard to find representation like that in literature.
I think one of the things that pop culture has done is pop culture has painted heroes in a certain way, but heroes come in different shapes and sizes. And I think that's something that
in our world,
and right now with the platform that we're all given, that it's time to break that down and bring it to perspective. I think the industry has to move with the pace that the world is moving, and that's something that I think is imperative to this moment, to this day.
I feel like in general publishing has such a responsibility in this way because they are pushing out new pop culture. They are making the new normal
They set
as
the
well.
trend.
Exactly, they set the trend. And I also read this interesting study about people who read a lot of stories have more empathy because they're able to put themselves or read through other people's lives. And again, with diverse experiences and diverse main characters, hopefully that can maybe be an element of helping to, you know, help end all this hate and all this unrest I feel like people have. There's a lot of barriers on understanding each other, but I feel like through reading and through representation, there's a lot of opportunity to help break down those barriers.
Yeah. Oh, it's just great to even be having that conversation within the publishing world.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, like allowing people to make mistakes and, you know, allowing ourselves to acknowledge, you know, problems in the things that we love too. And you know, it's not that we need to find an answer right now, but just to exist within that question and to
experimenting with it.
Move forward always.
For instance, like The Hate You Give has been on the top of the charts for how many weeks?
Like 20?
Months.
Months.
It's amazing, and they're making a movie about it, and I think that's so important, and that's what like a book did. It's this whole book about Black Lives Matter, and I'm so excited to see like a Hollywood production about this.
I think right now we're here to break that mold and to break those barriers, and you know, you're not born with hate and indifference. You are taught that in the environment that you live. So like you said, if these books are in schools, if they are part of, you know, our daily lives and the lives of our kids, they're going to grow up to be different people.
Exactly.
And they're going to see the world differently, and that's something that, you know, sometimes you don't see every day, and you come across people like that. I've been through some situations where it's like, oh, but you weren't born here. But I chose to never allow that to get to me and to get to where I wanted, and I think I fought harder because of that. And I really want to bring that, even as an author, to my work. And just so these people, when they read, because I needed someone like that for me. So I'm like, what I didn't have, I want to be for the people of today. So I think that's something that we all should pay attention to.
Very inspiring.
That sounds like a bunch of chit chat.
Yeah!
Hi, welcome to Chit Chat. I am Dhonielle Clayton, co-author of the Tiny Pretty Things series and author of The Bells. I'm also the COO of an organization called We Need Diverse Books, which is a group that believes that every child deserves to be the hero in a story. We run programs to help the children's book industry create more books with kids from underrepresented communities, written by authors from those communities. We started in 2014 after fellow author Ellen O saw that there was a lack of diverse authors featured at one of the biggest book industry events, Book Expo of America. She started a hashtag, We Need Diverse Books, and asked her author, teacher, and librarian friends to join her and tell the world why we need diverse books. Now, 4 years later, into the movement, we have several programs to help continue to push the publishing industry forward and toward equitability so that every kid can walk into a bookstore and find themselves on the shelf. If you want to get involved or learn more, check out diversebooks.org. Thank you for watching.
Hey guys, welcome back to Book Chat. My name is Tiernan.
Oh, it cuts to me? We start that
Okay,
No, no, it goes
I thought we had, okay, sorry. I thought we had a great
It's cool.
Okay.
We'll just start over.
Okay.